Christianity?
Well, I'm happy to. Yeah, I'd happy to. But again, it's kind of like the challenge when doing that is that the division, the divisiveness between we the people, it's challenging to have religiosity come into a discussion of spirituality. Personally, I love Yeshua, and I call him Yeshua out of great respect, the greatest respect, because there's so much in a name. Yod He, Shin Vav He, Yeshua, essentially has a vibrational essence to it that is, again, the essence of love. And literally the connection to Yod He Vav He is Yahovah. It's fascinating when you're talking about music and musicology. For example, when the musicians and vocalists are taught to harmonize, when vocalists, the trainers, top trainers in the field, encourage vocalists to harmonize with other vocalists by using vowels. And the universal vowels are fascinating. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes this Y. This concept, if you take those sounds and you sing them in like a revolution or circular chant, you actually are stating the name of Yahweh. It goes Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. And so it's fascinating that occurs. And, in the Bible, we're told to keep the Creator's name holy. It's fascinating because, that's why I say if you're going to do that for the Creator, well, why not do it for the Son, the model of Yeshua? Also keep that name holy because the name resonates a certain frequency that really connects you optimally to that divine source of love and sustenance. That's my own personal perspective on this. And, I love the confirmations that we have. Revelations, for example, you can't help but remember God's name because every time you laugh, this ha sound, this breath of life, this energy, when you sigh, that frequency goes out similar. So laughter, yawning is the same thing. This is really important to realize that it's the way that we have naturally express our connection and really communication with relaxation response, with love, with healing. To me, it's that kind of understanding that I enjoy when I consider the importance of names and particularly the Yod He Vav He Yehovah, and the Yeshua. I hope that answers your question.
It sure does, and I thank you very much. And by the way, I think you and I are kindred spirits. I'm a Gemini also, born on Flag Day.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I love all people, really, honestly. I really do. I have an affection for Muslims, for blacks, for Jews, for Catholics, for virtually Chinese people, Japanese people. I really, and I wasn't always that way because I grew up like every single one of us, in houses of families that had certain views. And, if we look back with an earnest, loving, open heart and somewhat of a free mind, we can see how we've all been brainwashed into dissonance and division. And that's really the greatest, tragedy and susceptibility that we have come under this gross division by the mind manipulations of the mainstream media. I can see it. I mean, the other day we were in Boston and it was hideous. You could see it. This was actually, it was in the summertime, and they had over the North End, over the Italian section, this huge billboard that decreed that the Iranians were robbing America's money right out of the oil and out of the banks, And man, what a gross deception when you look at JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs and how they're aligned to the Rothschild League of banksters in Europe, Germany, and London, and you realize how they're controlling the oil and OPEC, and you see that the propaganda is simply divisive, and that's what the problem is. You can't, love is not divisive. Love is communing. And, so this is the thing. I think that, and there's so much disinformation. For example, the Jew world order. Everybody's probably heard of the CIA, FBI, COINTELPRO, MI6 propagandists are out there saying, well, the Jews are behind this. And then you've got other people, the New World Order and the destruction. And then there are the anti-Vatican, anti-Jesuits who are claiming that this is all a Vatican-run operation and they're the bad guys. And then you've got other people that are now, claiming that the Chinese and the Russians are going to attack the United States, so they're the bad guys. And fundamentally, you go back to the grossest division, which is the sexes, the division of the sexes. We're all engaged in this lie of dissonance and division, when in fact we should be harmonizing in collaboration and celebrating our relationship as part of the divine family.
Yeah, they love to divide and conquer. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Len. As we end this discussion, we wanted to ask you one final question. I received an email this week about Lucia and the apparent message from the third secret of Fatima that stated that there will be great changes and upheavals, and it linked the time frame to 2012. Only a man not paying attention, ears to hear, eyes to see, cannot find massive changes occurring in our society. I understand from your previous interviews you made that you believe we are in the end times. Many of our forum members expect very challenging times ahead, and many of us have a compassion to survive and come through this period intact. After society collapses and the sun and earth changes affect our planet, what do you think the world will look like? Are we going back to a veritable Garden of Eden, living off the land in small groups or communities without what we call electricity now, or will we have a technological society? For those that survive, what do you think the world will be like after these times?
I love the question. I'm not sure I'm capable of answering it. A lot of people are naming dates. Again, it's pretty persuasive when the Mayan calendar ends. But, the Bible talks about nobody's going to know the exact time and date when the changes happen. And then what will those changes be? A lot of people are saying we're going to have a complete polar shift. There's going to be San Andreas Fault going down. California is going to fall into the ocean. Frankly, I don't know. I won't come out and say anything like that because I need to have real solid evidence for me to make any claims. But I can tell you one thing for sure, with all my heart, with all the intelligence that I have, and more importantly, all of the experiences that I've had in life. The issue is surviving, and it is the technology of faith and prayer that is the most important technology in the process of surviving. The concept of how do you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fearing no evil, knowing absolutely certainly that you're going to be sustained, uplifted, and prospered even in all ways in the process of making it into 1,000 years of world peace. Again, it's so simple now with the revelations that we have in the book of 528 to realize that love is here. The kingdom of heaven is here. It's right here. It's right now. It's right available to us by choice. And that's the most important knowledge that I need in order to not worry about what December 21st, 2012 is going to bring, or some people are predicting it's going to be even less, faster. It's going to be, some people are predicting in October now, we're going to have the first major initial changes. You're talking or listening to someone here who should have died at least 6 times. I can tell you the stories, if we had a lot of time, of how there's no reasonable explanation for me to be here. We're on God's time. I'm going to die, you're going to die when it's right time. And the concept of God knowing us before we were born and knowing us after we die is very it parallels. It's very consistent with understanding creation. I can't fathom the Creator, but I can now see enough of her creation to be in awe and realize that the matrix of mathematics and our destiny is literally laid out before and after our consciousness is engaged in this planetary hypocrisy and insanity and gross illusion, gross Maya. We're in a fog, we're in hypnosis about what this whole life experience really is about. The movie Inception, which, like you mentioned, I Am Legend, that's another book that took my material, and I was actually contracted by Warner Brothers to show the book Emerging Viruses in that film. More recently, the movie Inception has you as a psychological operation of Hollywood. Warner Brothers, Time Warner is Rupert Murdoch, and they want you to question now through films like this, what is life, what is reality? And frankly, from my perspective, that reality is clearly spiritual. It's a spiritual reality, and I have no idea what it's going to look like. I have no idea, whether I'm going to be here or you're going to be here. And frankly, it's kind of like, for me, it doesn't matter, because I have absolute faith that I'm connected to the Creator, that I'm doing great work, that I want to continue as best I can and as long as I can to continue to do this work. And I know that I personally will walk in faith, even if I have to walk in front of a bullet or, some other weird thing that comes, a vaccination or assassination attempt or whatever. So to me, that kind of question it's not that it's moot, but it's certainly something that I don't even want to focus on.
No problem. Thank you so much, Len. I hope it's been enjoyable for you as it has been for us. If not, bad luck, sir. One of St. Thomas Aquina's most famous quotes states that love takes up where knowledge leaves off. The transition from knowledge to wisdom is not spontaneous. It requires a catalyst. I think one such catalyst is love, which transforms the knowledge a person has obtained through hard work and experience into wisdom. Your continual thirst for knowledge and your attitude of love helps many people to bridge that gap and to become much the wiser. On behalf of Fox and all the members of the WebBot Forum, blessings for all your hard work, Dr. Horowitz. In the tradition of the WebBot Forum, may you have many pies to come. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm very impressed with the organization of your broadcast tonight, that the people who participated were obviously not just interested, but intelligent and well-studied. The questions that were asked obviously showed preparation and some very, very wonderful thinking. And so it's rare that I have that kind of hosts that have prepared so well. So that speaks very highly of you. And likewise, I thank you so much for the work that you're doing and the lives that you're touching with these revelations. God bless all of you. I love you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa. I can hardly wait for Fox for you to get this thing out. Thank you so much, Dr. Horowitz. Oh.
Love you guys. Thank you so much too, sister.
Yes, thank you for your time. That was wonderful.